Do you really want to go on with this procedure, Mr. Vesh? Yes. Yes, I do. These were the last words Mr. Vesh told me before the procedure. The whole process only took a few minutes. The result? He had his vocal cords removed, his legs intact but without function. His eyes only shined when flashed by a light. Blind, mute, and crippled. That's who Mr. Vesh was. He decided to take this procedure without the oversight of his parents, which was entirely in his right. He wasn't under his parents' jurisdiction anymore. However, for this procedure, it is courtesy to tell the parents about the end result. It was difficult as a doctor to tell Mr. Vesh's next of kin about the choice he made. Vesh heard all of it. The tears, the screaming, but beyond all of that, the more deafening sound, the most violent noise was the silence. The silence just moments before the emotions hit. Like knowing a ball is coming at you, and you not the glove nor the time to react. That small pause sent waves down my spine, collecting at the nape of my neck, sprinkling sweat across my back. As of recently, Mr. Vesh spends his time in his room, staring. Not out any window, not at any screen. Most of the time, he's just in bed. You could argue that because he is blind, he doesn't have the ability to stare. I'd agree with you, if it weren't for the fact that when I look into his eyes, they seem to be looking past me, past that ceiling, looking for something more. It is courtesy for the parents to then tell their friends about the procedure, though, as tragic as it may be, Mr. Vesh is confined to his room indefinitely. As his doctor, I visit as much as I can between appointments, just to ensure he's doing okay. Sometimes I wonder why anyone would undergo this process. The only context I'm given on why people would is through those who decided against it. Those who were on the brink of saying yes but chose not to. Their responses go myriads of different ways. It had to be done. I couldn't think of any other way. I'm not sure, it just felt right. Out of these three responses, which one do you think Mr. Vesh fits into? I try to figure this out in my own time. I understand it may come off as standoffish or impersonal to Mr. Vesh, but I am the doctor more than anything else. As his doctor, I'm meant to put on a brave face. I'm meant to be someone who supports his decisions, at least within my boundaries of doing so. As his doctor, I told his parents. I told his girlfriend. I told his brother. I told everyone. Because I was the first one that saw him after the procedure. I was the one that stared him in his face. And all I saw was him staring through me as his doctor, as his... Fuck. Nah. Fuck it.
As his friend. As his friend, I told his parents. As his friend, I told his brother. As his friend, I told Ashley. Ashley didn't fucking believe me. She held that fucking pause and it made me deaf. It made the world silent and the screams shattering.
Ashley, I know you love him. I know he's your light, but Tyler decided to go through with it.
That's what I told her. I told her to her face that he had done it. I've been saying as his doctor for so long. I wish I spoke to him as his best friend.
As your doctor, I need to stay impartial. As your doctor, I recommend this treatment. As your doctor, I really advise you take those pills, Tyler.
That's all I fucking said to him. As his doctor. You know what I wanted to say? As your best friend, I really need you to agree with me. I really think you should seek help. Please stay on the pills. As your best friend, don't jump. He ignored me every step of the way. Oh, it wasn't obvious to you? Yeah, that procedure wasn't any type of surgery. That procedure was fucking suicide. He called me and said he was going to end it. And what did I ask him? What did I really say?
Do you really need to die, Tyler?
And he said,
Yes. Yes, I do.
I didn't hear from him again. Not until the morning. I spent all night looking for him. I checked the bridge near our university. I checked the old treehouse we used to play in. Why didn't I check the freeway? When I got there, it was all blue and red. I remember screaming. My own screams. I saw his lifeless body, his legs shattered, his neck just... Of course, because he called me, no one else knew. So I told his mom and dad, and I told his brother. and I told his girlfriend. As his doctor, losing him as a patient was very upsetting. As his best friend, I lost myself that day. And the world, they lost something good that day. I visit his grave. The cemetery is actually right next to my hospital. Ironic, isn't it? Every now and then I can see people visiting from the window in my office. Never a lot, but God, did they all look shattered. So many different people did his life affect. They all pay respects, as I do, as we do. I'm gonna miss you, Tyler. May the choice you made sit with us, in the belief that you're finally